Howdy YouTube. So today we're talking about UFC 203, Overeem, Miocic, Werdum, Browne, Mickey Gall, CM Punk. I'm going to take this opportunity to let you know what I thought of the overall main card, what I thought of CM Punk's performance, and I'm also going to take this opportunity to review the WWE Summerslam Heritage Series, Phil Brooks, CM Punk. We'll get the figure out the way and then we'll talk a little UFC. He is a little bit of an old figure, but it is the last CM Punk figure that Mattel released. One of my favourite CM Punk figures. I love this attire. I really enjoyed CM Punk as a wrestler, to be completely honest with you. I think he was a very talented wrestler, and I'm very proud of his performance at UFC 203, and a lot of you will drop your jaws and wonder what I mean by that. Well, I'll get into it once I open it up. Nice shot of CM Punk on the side there. Looking pretty much the exact same as he did at the UFC. One thing I'm just going to say very quickly, wrestling attire versus UFC attire. When they show the shots of Punk wrestling in the pre-fight build, when you see a man in undies with knee pads on, it really isn't a good look. When you watch wrestling, you sort of accept it. When you see it compared to like a UFC fighter, it does look a little ridiculous. Anyway, that's my rant over. On the back of the packaging, we've got CM Punk there. Other figures in the set, we've got the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase, Undertaker, Triple H, Shawn Michaels, and Rey Mysterio. I have reviewed not all, but some of these figures, and you can check those out on my channel. With that, let's get CM Punk opened up and out of packaging. And here we have a very happy CM Punk opened up and out of packaging. In all seriousness, though, lots of respect to him for stepping inside the octagon. It is a big step to go from zero martial arts experience. He's not like Alberto Del Rio, where he was an Olympic-level wrestler. He's not like Mark Henry or Braun Strowman, that were power lifters. He's not like Brock Lesnar, that was an NCAA All-American wrestling national champion and just freak of nature. When you take those things into account, he's been training for 1.5 to 2 years in mixed martial arts. Granted, yes, every day. But there is a big difference between training and fighting. And the fight showed that perfectly. CM Punk basically got taken down and had his face punched in. But when you take everything into account, the guy is nearly 40 years old. He looked incredible. He actually looked, I think that's the best shape I've ever seen Punk look, including when he wrestled and everything. He looked good. He looked really happy facially. You know, the weight cut didn't look like it affected him too much. In one of the interviews in the pre-fight conference, it looked like, you know, he was struggling with that weight cut. But then come fight night, he looked very nice, very calm, very composed. I like that he came out with his entrance song. I like that he came out with the hoodie and everything like that. And he was very respectful to Mickey Gall. Very respectful indeed. In terms of this figure, he's got a great face scan. Hopefully you guys can see that. Very accurate Punk scan, to be honest with you. I love the slick back hair that he's sporting as well. Tattoos on the chest and everything. The pink Macho Man type tights. And I love the pink and black. Normally I'm not a big fan. But pink, black, and white is a killer combo. Love the boots, love the detailing there. Hopefully you guys can see. It comes across very nice. Does make the figure look really cool. One of my favorite basic Mattel figures, if I'm completely honest. The only thing I wish is that they would include some of the tattoos. Obviously, got like the G.I. Joe and the Pepsi, which they can't do. But give us something similar, at least. I think fans would settle for that. It is a very nice figure. Articulation-wise, ball-jointed head, ball-jointed arms, swivel in the bicep, bend at the elbow, swivel in the wrist, swivel waist, swivel in the leg, bend at the knee, swivel in the boot, and swivel in the ankle. Now, again, with the CM Punk MMA debut, he said he'll be back, and I think it'd be good to see him back. Keep in mind, his first fight, he's gone from zero martial arts experience and zero fights to going in there with someone who has done karate since he was a kid, whose dad is involved in some kind of martial art as well, who would have brought him up in it. Training, fighting, winning. He's had a bit of an amateur background. So he's not some bum off the street. He's not, to use the quote, a tomato can. A very tough opponent. I'm very, very excited to see him against Sage Northcutt. I like that he called him out. He seems a little bit too arrogant for my liking. I do rate that he came out with the song "Mickey, You're So Fine." I think that was a very clever idea. But yeah, I don't know why people are so down on Punk. I don't know why they're so critical. The guy did a bloody good job to go in there from absolutely nothing. He took a beating like an absolute champ. He tried to defend the rear naked choke. He battled for a little bit. He ate some tough shots and some tough punishment. He looked pretty emotional at the end there, but he spoke. He had a brilliant post-fight promo and speech. Very inspiring and motivational. And that's really all about him. And kudos to him. He worked hard at WWE, mistreated, and he said basically, screw you guys. I'm going to do something else. I'm going to get my face punched in. And he did. And he's going to be back, and I'm happy for him, and I'm happy to see him again. So that's my thoughts on CM Punk. After that fight, we had... I'm not going to talk about the Uriah Faber fight because I think Uriah Faber at number 2 got completely outclassed. Moving on. Fabricio Werdum, Travis Browne, a fun fight. Fabricio Werdum is an extremely talented striker. I love the flying sidekick straight off the start. Outstanding stuff. Edmund, Rousey's coach, Browne's coach, is a serious tool bag. Highlights of the fight for me, that first round with Browne dominating, with Werdum dominating Browne, and then Edmund losing his voice. You have to keep your hands up, and just listening to him, that was probably a really appalling version, by the way, but listening to him try to motivate Travis Browne, who was clearly outclassed badly in that fight. The capoeira kicks, the flip kicks by Werdum, good striking. He goes to the takedown a little bit too much. I think he leaves himself vulnerable to that. I'm interested to see what happens next. Kane eviscerated Browne in the first round. It took Fabricio a decision to do that, so I think he gives a title shot to Velasquez on that basis, and him and Miocic would be a fantastic fight. But overall it was really good. After the fight, Edmund the Tool tries to start something with Werdum because he's such a wise guy, and that backfired a little bit bad as well. Then we get to the main event, Overeem Miocic. I'm a big Overeem fan. He's a heavy hitter, and he proved that when he knocked Overeem down 2 or 3 times. One with a jab that was fantastic. He did a great job there. He was very strategic. He did a lot of jogging, a lot of running, and I guess that's one way to prepare for a fight. Whether you do it in a fight, I guess Overeem knew what he was doing. He threw this shitty side kick. He gets caught by Miocic. Miocic does a beautiful job of ground and pounding Overeem's face. One thing I will say that I think was a little disappointing, and maybe it's because Overeem got punched in the head one too many times, but on the ground, one, he had no defense, but then when he had the rear naked choke on Miocic, saying in the interview that he felt him tap, I think it was a bit of a clutching at straws move. They show the replay, and it's like that Simpsons quote, dig up, stupid. He just made himself look very bad, very unsportsmanlike, I thought anyway. I still love Overeem. All props to Miocic. Well done. He deserves the win. A true heavyweight champion now that he's defended the belt, in my view, and interested to see what happens next. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this review on my thoughts regarding UFC 203 and also the WWE Mattel SummerSlam series, CM Punk.